Welcome back. It's Breakfast Central. We have a special today on a Friday, the front pages of the newspapers. Joining us this morning, live in the studio, is Public Affairs Analyst Mr. Dotun Ojon. Welcome.
Good morning. A man of timber and caliber, a man with both federal and state might, and local government might.
Don't let me weaken you.
And on the line, we also have joining us a legal practitioner, of course, one who is outspoken. You call him the human rights speaker. Hey. All right, please put your hands together. Please, ladies and gentlemen, before we say Inibehe Effiong, who joins us live outside of the studios as usual. Thank you for being here as well.
My pleasure being with you. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year.
Happy birthday and Happy New Year to you too.
Let's take our paper quickly. This Nigeria is the paper we're looking at, and then we go straight into it. And the front page of this Nigeria, Rivers Assembly dangles, you know, like dangle something, dangle impeachment acts over Fubara deputy. List budget breaches, demolition of chambers among seven scenes of Governor State's APC faction calls for ceasefire. Let's start off with in-studio
I think
first.
we should even show the picture
Yes,
on the next page,
I think,
the Guardian.
Yeah.
Let's show the picture
I like
of the Guardian
the
as
way
well.
it puts them.
See all the faces there. Can we please put up the Guardian? The Guardian says, Fubara may meet Tinubu as Rivers Row escalates with assembly.
And can our director also put up the list of the 7 cardinal sins he has committed against the assembly members of River State?
Calm down. While we get that ready, let's get okay, there it is. Reckless and personal spending of public funds, obstructing the River State House of Assembly from performing its constitutional duties, allowing unauthorized persons to occupy public offices without proper screening.
Seeking budgetary approval from a body other than the legitimate River State House of Assembly, withholding salaries and statutory allowances of the House of Assembly and Assembly Service Commission. Next.
This is
Okay,
So that's all. But
yeah.
I'd like to start with Inibehe. Let him give us a legal perspective to this. Is this political, or has he violated the Constitution? What does the Constitution of Nigeria say about filing impeachment proceedings by state houses of assembly?
Thank you. Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution has outlined the procedure, the modality, and the process of removal of a governor or deputy governor from office. Now, that process entails that a notice of impeachment signed by not less than 1/3 of the members of the House of Assembly has to be served on the Speaker, accusing the governor or deputy governor of gross misconduct in the performance of the duties of their office, which is what has happened. That notice was read on the floor of the House. The Speaker acknowledged it. He has now 7 days to cause that notice to be served on the holder of the office, namely Governor Fubara and his deputy. The governor is expected to reply to the allegations contained in the notice, the allegations of gross misconduct leveled against him. The governor and the deputy must now submit their response in writing, if they so wishes, in respect of the allegations. When that has happened, the matter will now come back to the House for the House to vote whether the allegations of gross misconduct is to be investigated or not. They need 2/3 to pass a resolution calling for investigation of the allegations. Once that resolution is passed, as we anticipate, the Chief Judge of Rivers State must, within 7 days, upon receiving correspondence and communication upon a request by the Speaker, constitute a panel of 7 eminent persons of proven integrity to investigate the allegations against the governor and the deputy governor. That panel will have 3 months within which to conclude its findings and make a determination whether the allegations have been proved or not. In the course of that panel investigation, the governor is entitled to have representation or to represent himself, to have either legal representation or to represent himself. That is the governor and the deputy governor. where the panel reaches a conclusion that allegations have not been proved, the constitution says the impeachment proceedings shall abate, shall terminate, and no further steps shall be taken. However, if the panel finds the governor and the deputy governor guilty of gross misconduct, they will now communicate their findings to the speaker, who will now table the matter before the House. The House will now vote and may so remove the governor by 2/3 majority of members of the House. That essentially is the constitutional. In the case of the Rivers State House of Assembly, we are yet to see the particulars of the allegations of gross misconduct, because Section 188 says that gross misconduct has to be a grave violation of the Constitution, a grave or serious violation of the provisions of the Constitution, or any conduct or act which, in the opinion of the House of Assembly, amounts to gross misconduct. However, what the Supreme Court has decided in the case of Inakuja and Deleke and other cases is that in determining whether a conduct amounts to gross misconduct within the purview and contemplation of Section 188, it still has to be tied to the performance of the office of the functions of the office of governor and deputy governor. So the House cannot simply impeach a governor where that conduct does not imperil his office or affect his office, or where the conduct is not such that has basically affected the integrity of the office of governor. And the court outlined several conducts, like criminality, sexual harassment, several things and so on, that the House may deem to be gross misconduct. In this instance, I have read snippets of some of the headings of some of the allegations. They're accusing the governor of failure to present the budget, public expenditure, reckless expenditure of public funds without budgetary approval, allowing persons who have not been approved by Parliament, whose appointment is subject to parliamentary confirmation, to assume functions of those offices. And they also accuse him of failure to abide by the terms of the agreement reached between Minister Wike, Fubara, and at the instance of the president, and so on and so forth. Now, some of these allegations are clearly partisan and political in nature, like the one regarding the agreement with the president. To begin with, I believe as a lawyer, I believe as a person, I believe, and I solemnly so believe, that the issue of the governor failing or alleged failure to abide by the terms of the agreement, the political agreement with the president, cannot be a basis for impeachment, because that agreement ab initio was unconstitutional. No president in Nigeria has the power, has the authority to direct the governor on who to appoint as commissioners to limit the gubernatorial powers of the office functions of the office of governor, which the Constitution itself has donated to the governor. So where, for example, the president says you have to retain certain persons in certain portfolios within the State Executive Council, that failure to abide by that cannot be the basis for impeachment. Regarding the issue of the budget, there is now a dispute between the Amaewhule-led House and the governor as to which budget is going to be implemented as to the fiscal year. On the one hand, there are claims that the National Assembly had passed a budget during the state of emergency. The governor is saying he's still implementing that. The House have even said they are not going to allow him to present a new budget. In summary, in a nutshell, the panel to be set up by the Chief Judge, if it gets to that point, will then have to examine each of the allegations, particular by particular, fact by fact, on specifics. With particularity, they must bring evidence to substantiate all the allegations. And then the panel will now reach a conclusion on whether those allegations have been proved or not. But at this time, we should not be distracted. What is happening in Rivers State is sad, it is tragic, that governance has taken the backseat, while partisanship, political brinkmanship, and crisis has been elevated in the manner that we have seen. One would have thought by now that some sense of moderation, some decency will prevail. Right. But it is now obvious that this was a relationship that was never going to be repaired.
All right, Inibehe, if I may step in at this moment. You've given us the legal background as to why this has happened, and I've also shared some political perspective to it. Just to mention to our viewers that we will go on YouTube and take your comments. We might not be able to take phone calls today, but we will take comments from YouTube or streaming live via News Central TV. Let's come back into the studio and hear from Dotun Ojon. How did we get here? What we assumed was supposed to be a peace accord between the president, the minister of the FCT, the governor of Rivers State seems to be falling apart. And now the thing that led to the declaration of state of emergency is happening all over again. How did we get here? And what are your projections for what the next steps are?
Is that why New Central put it as season 2?
It is season 2.
Okay, so to be a bit philosophical and political, the Nigeria kind of politics is one that lays emphasis on 2 Ds if you want to be able to play it very well. The first is your dexterity in being able to create a knife, a spoon that is long enough to dine with the devil. And your discipline to be able to dine in a way that the devil will not suspect that you will stab him at the back. So anytime you sign for anybody to support you politically as a godfather, the 2 things you need to learn are the fact that, number 1, you have to learn the dexterity to be able to eat, dine with the devil, and the discipline to be able to do it in a way that your godfather will not think that you will stab him at the back. I won the election as a student union president, and my fiercest enemy, who incidentally will happen to be from the same place, he never supported me. He was all over the place. And after winning the election, I remember I was going into the campus, and he met me on the road and said this thing in Yoruba that I will say. He said, the wisdom that you used to build the house is nothing compared to the wisdom you used to live inside the house. And it took me about 3 months to be able to unpack that. So now the fight is not just about Wike and Fubara. You ask how we got to this point. It is the lack of understanding of what the godfather wanted when he was supporting you. It's beyond saying, oh, this man, what did he want from the very beginning? Do you have the character to be able to unite all forces within the government, despite the fact that you have a desire to develop your country? Let me tell you the thing that happened before the 2023 election. There was a man who was the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he had this desire. He saw that a lot of things went wrong while his principal was the president. And he was thinking he had the desire to change Professor Yemi Osinbajo. He had the desire to change those things. And he came out to say, I want to run. But again, in the process of declaring, he discovered that his own principal, his own former principal, who actually nominated him to be the vice president, was actually running to be the president. So there's a clash. Yes, there's a clash now between your desire to change what your principal was doing and your character.
All right, let's pause on that clash. We're going to break, and when we come back, we'll still be analyzing what's happening in Rivers State. We still have Dotun Ojon and Inibehe Effiong, who's joining us virtually. Please stay with us. Welcome back, Inibehe. Thank you for staying with us. Before we went on the break, we were speaking about the clash between your character and your desire.
So the former vice president had a desire. He saw that a lot of things were wrong while his principal was the president. And as he was about to say, oh, I'm coming to change this thing, his former principal actually entered the ring and said, I am running for the same office. Now there's a clash of the desire to do what you want to do and the character to allow your former principal take a stand in the race to run. Now, you must learn how to balance this. So there's a desire in the heart of Fubara, as I've known, that, okay, there were a lot of things that were not done right. And he came out to say, we don't want to even go into details. He felt at a point people have come out to talk about Naira and Kobo. And he felt that, oh, we want to change this. Now, he has to also build the character to tame everybody, the word tame, those people who need to be tamed, and those people who need to be tolerated. There are people I call political portable. I am not going to fight with them. I am not going to fight with them because nobody in record, go look at record, nobody ever fought with such people and came out clean.
So who is the political portable?
I'm just saying there are people like that. And do not allow anybody to, no, this is very clear. Don't allow anybody to drag you, when they want to fight you, to drag you to the place of their own strength. Fubara does not have the capacity to do this public fight that is coming to say, if you want to follow Fubara, don't follow. It's not going to work, I am telling you. So we are in a political situation now, and everybody must know that we must not banish the dividend of democracy that you come to the people in the name of plain politics. And we are not, the blame on ground now is enough to go around. Everybody is wrong. Everybody. The godfather who wants the taxi of development to come through his table is wrong. The godson who cannot manage every component of the disagreement in this thing is also wrong. If you put your hand into paper that you are going to do this, you must also have the character to be able to unite everyone that will make you come across as somebody that is serious. The houses of assembly that are bringing political allegations against the governor, everyone is wrong. So the blame on Granda is enough. Of course, the president must be tired by now. Rivers is one unit of the state. You may begin to talk about what's coming from Rivers, but its unit is not more important than Ondo State. It's not more important than Lagos. At every point in time, are they not even ashamed that they keep running to Abuja?
When you're saying that if you put your hand to paper to say you will do something, you should be able to keep it, that is, okay, so agreement is agreement to you. Are you talking about the peace accord or whatever agreement they went into before Fubara got into government?
Okay, so I am not even, the issues have actually overtaken whatever it is that happened before Fubara got into office. Now it's the fact that they sat down and they've had an agreement that this and this are what I'm going to do. Even if you will renege, you must have the character to be able to let people know that you're going to renege. And I say it again. You see, it may sound somehow this morning. At the end of the day, it is the Rivers people that will suffer. Now, in the last 2 years, we know that there were a lot of grants that they were supposed to have covered. They haven't covered it. Now, 1 year is going to, all this back and forth now. He was saying the other time that the committee that will be set up has up to 3 months before they, so add 3 months to it. And if at the end of the day, all the illegalities that are contained in this thing, the committee says, oh, these are illegal, you cannot continue, the House of Assembly will rest. But I tell you, before the end of this year, another crisis will break out. Are they going to continue? So we will now have New Central now say season 3. Is that what we want to have?
Okay, maybe
let's go to Inibehe. Inibehe, well, first of all, what's your take on some of the allegations, unconstitutional use of the funds, not presenting it to them, and not having enough money to run the assembly and so on?
And the 100,000 naira insult.
Yeah, I mean, he gave them 100,000 naira for end of the year package. He said no.
I want to say, I'm still waiting to see the particulars of these allegations. Note that I earlier stated that all that we have seen is a covering letter accompanying the allegations. That is what is in the public domain. Meanwhile, if you saw the letter, they refer to the governor as Madam. I don't know if Fubara is now a feminine gender, that they're addressing him as Madam. I would suppose that is an error on their part, but impeachment is a serious process. Now, some of the allegations are clearly political. The one that I want to be dismissed with a wave of the hand is the one about the agreement with the president. You cannot use that to impeach anybody. Where a president tells the governor, so and so persons must be your commissioner for finance. This person must be your attorney general. How can a governor run a state when the commissioner for finance is not loyal to him? When the attorney general is openly hostile to the governor, it is impossible. The agreement with the president was a non-starter. It was an agreement that was not reached in good faith. It was never going to stand. It was never practicable. There is nowhere the most sensitive positions in the cabinet of the state will be occupied by persons who are openly hostile to the governor of the state. Imagine that at the federal level now, that the Minister of Finance and the Attorney General are publicly hostile to Tinubu. Is there any agreement, even initiated by Trump, by the UN or the African Union, that can allow that kind of arrangement to stay in place just to maintain some sort of stability in the governance of the country? The answer is no. So I knew that some of those things that were contained in that agreement was never going to stand. Now, regarding the allegation of expenditure of public funds without budgetary provisions or without parliamentary approval. That is a serious matter. I believe that the panel will look at it. Some of the other allegations about persons whose nominations have not been confirmed, that is, who have not been lawfully appointed, occupying names of the persons. We do not know the portfolios. We do not know when they assume offices. So these are the issues. The House will have to go before the panel to present their case with evidence to substantiate these allegations. But some of the allegations seem serious to me, except that with the facts and the particulars have not been provided. So they remain allegations until proven. But note that it is entirely a matter left for the 7-member panel to determine. Once that panel reaches a verdict, that verdict cannot be contested. It is not appealable. If they say that the allegations have not been proved, that is the end of the matter. But I am concerned that, again, we are allowing politics to take precedence over governance. Right? Because what is the fight about? What is Wike's stake in this matter? What is he fighting for? Is he saying that is not satisfied with the way the governor has governed the state in terms of development, in terms of job creation? That is not what I'm hearing. I don't know what you central has heard, but that is clearly not what is being communicated publicly that some of us are privy to. This is all about access to the allocation of the state and control over the political machinery of the state. But like the guest in the studio has noted, it's not as if Fubara is entirely innocent in all this. Because Gani Fubara stated so that, look, those who sow the seeds of dictatorship will be consumed by dictatorship. The manner in which this governor and his deputy came into office, go and look at the process. Even the gubernatorial election that brought them into office, the machinations, the rigging. So some of these things are coming back to bite him. But having said that, people should not be allowed, the people of Rivers State should not be allowed to be used as a stepping stone for political relevance of few individuals. Because what they are now doing, they are not sacrificing the interests of the people of the state for the personal aggrandizement of a few persons. The minister is supposed to be very busy in Abuja. Where does he have the time to tell the local governments in Rivers State when campaign have not commenced, is openly campaigning, and you see the whole embarrassing drama? He is neither in PDP, he is neither in APC. He is parading the chairman of the PDP and the APC at his rallies, even bragging about it. This is not how to democratize the country. This is not how to build a democracy. So what they are telling us to our faces is that the democratic process in Rivers State have been subverted and that the people of Rivers State cannot do anything about it. That saddens me. The House of Assembly also is not innocent. It's not innocent. They know that this is about money. They know that this is about, in quote, loyalty, not the interest of the people of Rivers State. So let us hope that all this will end soon, one way or the other, and hopefully there will be some efforts to return the state back to governance.
Of the FCT minister, he's explained a number of these things. One of them is the dualization of Ahuada Road. He says that the governor is taking the credit for it, even though he paid 70% before handing over to the governor. He also mentioned how the governor is not continuing with his programs, how he employed 1,000 Rivers youths, but...
It's actually 10,000.
10,000 Rivers youths, but that the governor did not continue from there. But I want to take comments from...
Before you do that, Inibehe mentioned something very instructive. He said he's bragging about subverting democracy in Rivers State, you know, the way the governor came in and all of that. And in his last rally, he was also reminiscing about what they did in Osun State and Edo State. So it would be nice for him to come out and tell us what they really did.
Okay, we're streaming live on YouTube, right? News Central Live, News Central TV Live. Just to take comments from our YouTube audience. Thank you, Luke Crone. He says, good morning, wonderful crew of News Central. Welcome back, Lady Olive. Thank you. He said, is Wike trying to challenge the president directly? Interesting days ahead, though. Make I sip my hot coffee. My brother, sip and well. Pokuye Chukwemeka says, 7 cardinal sins indeed. Good morning, team News Central. We will have many more seasons when it comes to Rivers State. I said it before, we are just starting. We will see more before, during, and after the 2027 elections. Olumide Alade says, the only agreement the governor has is with the people of Rivers State, and that agreement is to serve them, not any political godfather. While other states are moving forward, Rivers State continues to grapple with political structure and lingering power crisis struggles. And Pius Amako says, good morning, wonderful team of New Central. Welcome back, Lady Olive. Thank you, Pius. You are, oh, thank you for the compliments. He now says, let me say it here. This impeachment process is an effort in futility. A PDP member orchestrating APC members to remove an APC governor. The speaker even called the governor a mistake. Let me go and eat my roasted chicken. My brother, eat it well. Let's talk about the role of APC in all of this. Governor Fubara has moved to the APC. Many argue that that's what has triggered the reaction of the Minister of the FCT. The APC has rejected the impeachment proceeding in all of this. What does this say about the covering that the APC has? Recall that many governors have moved to the APC to align with the center. Yeah. What does it speak about the APC, about the peace accord, about the president, who is the #1 man in the APC?
And also the fact that the governor and the House members are APC, can it be resolved internally as a family dispute?
I think this matter is a bit complicated. Starting from the covering of APC, one of the things that we got to know that actually angered the FCT minister was the fact that you will recall that there was a video where the chairman of Governors Forum actually took the governor of Rivers State to the president. Hope Uzodinma actually took, and there were a lot of back and forth that have come as a result of that. And you know how powerful the FCT president, minister is. I'm even calling him president because
I was like,
yes,
you don't know.
Because the convoy looks like that of a president anytime he passes in Abuja, and I really love the convoy. I love the convoy.
Yeah, the Rolls Royce is a beautiful car.
It speaks of our worth as a nation. So having said that, I think he was a bit not comfortable. If my governor wants to see Mr. President, when we went for peace accord, we went together. I think it would be something that is politically nice for my governor to have gone to see Mr. President with me. Now my governor is going with behind my back with the governors, with the chairman of Governors Forum. Could that mean that there are meetings that are held behind my back that I'm not aware of? If you're not careful, politically that can give you some IBP. So, and the best way to act is to actually fire back to let everybody know that I'm still in charge of the state. And you look at the Rainbow Coalition.
FCT minister.
Rainbow Coalition. You didn't see the Rainbow Coalition. Rainbow Coalition is a combination of both APC, PDP, and not participating parties. Everybody is there. So it's a way of giving a clear signal. And if you come to look at it, a lot of people in power today do not like the FCT minister. Maybe because of his constant communication or controversy, call it. And it's looking as if his own godson is aligning with a lot of people who don't like him politically. So all of these are the reasons why I think some of these things are coming out at this point in time. But having said that, we need to lay emphasis on one thing. The power in democracy. Democracy is the only form of government that lays emphasis on the people from beginning to the end. It means that your policy, your program, your project must be about the people. So the people cannot be helpless in a democracy to the point where one of the people will now become so powerful that it can actually change the destiny of the entire people by who it makes the leader of the people. A lot of people don't, on the front page of the paper, there's a research there, the paper we took the other time, that was talking about youth participation in politics. It's closely written with the story we're analyzing. This Nigeria.
Now, when you politically active online,
yes,
and silent offline researcher.
So when you look at this research, it's telling you that democracy cannot be left in the hand of a few. It means that the people, as it were, is a central figure in the definition of what democracy should look like. So we do not like what is happening in Rivers because you can't even tell what the people are thinking. You can't, what is the input of people apart from giving them several jerseys of different political parties? It used to be the jersey of APC. It used to be the jersey of PDP. Now it's Rainbow Coalition jersey. Apart from this, where else are the people and what else are they doing?
We're almost out of time. Inibehe, if you share your final thoughts in 1 minute regarding your projection for how this will be or will not be resolved? In 1 minute, please.
Well, unfortunately for Fubara, unfortunately for Governor Fubara, President Tinubu is not an ambassador of politics that has a lot of respect for the views of the people. So he himself is the Jagaban of Lagos. Wike is trying to be the Jagaban of Rivers. I don't know how many Jagabans we are going to have as a country. But let us hope that this crisis is going to stop and that they will go back to focus on why they are actually in office, which is to deliver governance to the people of Rivers State. This lunacy, political lunacy, has persisted for too long. There has to be an end to it. We simply cannot continue to focus on this. When people are suffering, when people are looking for governance in Abuja, look at the lawyer, my colleague that was murdered, gruesomely murdered by so-called one-chance operators. Look at the nurse that was murdered. Has the FCT minister gone to condole with their families? Public schools in Abuja, I'm not sure if they have opened, but they have gone on strike for months. Even unions in Rivers State have issued a notice that they are going to down tools. Where is the FCT minister? There are things that are requiring urgent ministerial attention. But it's turning the local governments, playing politics. We have to come to a point as a country where politicians realize that public office is about public service.
Right. Thank you so much, Inibehe. Thank you very much for sharing that. Prince Ajibade says, in the name of God, can one of them please come out and tell us what the agreements are? Wike is behaving as if Rivers people should be grateful to him for the air they breathe. Your final thoughts in 20 seconds.
Okay. Inibehe actually said that the president is Jagaban of Lagos, that another person is trying to be the Jagaban of Rivers. So my parting shot will be that I pray that there will not be clash of two Jagabans in the future. So I rest my case.
Okay, this is where we rest our case.
Yes,
Thank you.
This is where we come
and it is well with you, people of Rivers State. We'll continue to talk about this, and we know that there will be more developments by next week. Thank you very much to our virtual audience.
Wow.
Our physical
I
audience.
can't believe the week is over.
I can't believe
I wish management can give us 8 hours tomorrow to continue some of these discussions.
The week is over.
Did you say by the way can give us and give you? You talk about yourself.
Can I wrap up with a parting shot? Can I wrap up with a parting shot?
Yes.
The week is over, but Wike's tantrums are not over.
Hey, we'll continue to monitor. Hopefully by this weekend he would have finished his 20-something local government thank you tour in Rivers State.
Okay, as I wrap up, I'm giving a special shout out to Ayomaire Ese, who turned 40, and to my incredible niece, Mavella, who turned 10. Wishing you all a wonderful celebration. And to Maiwa is our director. His daughter is celebrating her birthday.
That's true.
Morire, happy birthday.
And Maiwa, thank you for the chin-chin you brought for me.
Not forgetting to, I just wanted to say something. I just saw something. Anyway, enjoy your weekend.
What was that one,
Enjoy your weekend.